Hello everyone, this is Pankaj. I share practical tutorials on Java, Spring Boot, and DevOps based on real development experience. So in this video, we will create a Spring Boot project from start.spring.io and connect it with SQLite. So if you are a Java developer and want to practice JDBC, Spring Boot, or CRUD operations, do you really need to install heavy database like MySQL or Oracle? So your answer should be no. Because today I will show you SQLite, a lightweight database that runs without any server, perfect for learning and development. So I want to say, in my experience as a Java developer, SQLite is very useful for quick POC, learning Spring Boot, and testing CRUD functionality without installing heavy database. So you can see in this image shows how a Spring Boot application works with SQLite database. So the client such as browser or postman, anything could be, sends a request to the Spring Boot applications. The request is first handled by the controller, which manage the API endpoints. Then the request goes to the repository layer using Spring Data JPA. Hibernate converts the operation into SQL queries, and through the SQLite JDBC driver, the data is stored into a local database file, or file could be anything. Here it's a test DB, but you can give any file name. It's as per your requirement. Since SQLite is file based, so no data server is required, which makes it lightweight and easy to use for development and learning. So let's start. Spring Boot official documentations from Spring, and current version is 4.0.2. This they are showing. And if you want to learn any tutorials, how you can start your developing your first Spring Boot applications, so here you can find out all the information. So here actually we have to start our springs. So we have a start.spring.io. So you can right click on that. And here you can create your first Spring Boot project where you can select Java, Maven. Today we are going to use Java and Maven. And if I will talk about Spring Boot versions, so Spring Boot versions always we will start with the latest one. So my recommendation always select latest Spring Boot version, and for Java, so it's for Spring Boot, and for Java which version you will select. So currently we have Java 25, 21, and 17, but we will choose the which Java version which provides LTS support, long-term support. So now we have 25 which is already LTS support, and 21 was the previous one before 25, but we are going to 21 only. So here you can do some modifications. What will be the group name? So I keep simple my channel name only com.code to cloudx, right? And artifact also you can give the project applications name. So I give spring session, simple spring session sorry, spring session. So demo purpose, that's fine. Now I have to add the dependency. So if I will talk about dependencies, so for the Spring Boot applications, you have to choose the dependencies. Automatically, it will be part of your application. So firstly, we are going to choose Spring Wave. So Spring Wave is a starter project of Spring Boot, which is going to help us in building what building? Building the web applications. And inside the web applications, we can build the REST API or Spring MVC based path. And behind the scene, it is also going to provide you the embedded Tomcat server. You don't require external servers you need to add. Internally, they will provide embedded Tomcat server. And also we can add DevOps tools. DevOps tools which will help you what? Okay, just like frequently if you are going to change, so you don't require to restart your applications on every changes throughout the sessions. Okay, so I don't want to manually restart the Spring Boot application. So DevOps tools dependency is going to take care of restart automatically. So as of now, we are selecting only two dependencies. If required later on, we will add as per the requirement. So now I generate So you can check it's generated. Okay. So now I copy this one. So I paste it here. I will unzip it, extract to Spring Session. So it's got that's fine. I delete this. So now I can import this one. I open and where I kept it, it is directly on D drive, right? Spring example, I think here it is. So I selected this one, trust project, new window I will take, and yeah. So what you have to do now? Now you have imported. I think some Maven dependencies are getting load. What pom.xml with what we have added. So if you will check the structure, we will have pom.xml where all the dependencies what we added manually. That was dev Spring Boot dev tools. We are using Java 21. We have Spring Boot starter web MVC, right? And by default we have web MVC test if you want to do JUnit later, and it's a parent bomb if you want to add later. So yeah, we will go through this later. So firstly, this is the pom.xml. So now we are going to create the applications. So firstly, dependency is resolving, but yeah, we have to check the JDK first. Each this if any it means if you are getting any compilation errors and JDK is not finding if any version mismatch, so you can check. You can go to the project structure, you can check everything. Now 21 we have selected, it's already coming in SDK. It's a 71 swine. So now we are going to choose 21 and modules dependencies 21 path everywhere we are checking. So that's fine. Okay. SDK we made the changes, right? Okay. So now we will start the applications. So firstly we create the applications, then we will connect with SQLite database. And in resource we have application.property where we can give the application's name. We have Spring Session, and also I give the port number server dot port. What I can 909 simply 909. You can keep X per your wish, which you like. And now I can create a controller class. So what I can do, it's our main package com.code to cloudx, and it's our main class. So this is the starter where actually when you will run this Spring application, so this main class will be executed. So firstly in this package we will create a package named controller, and simply I can write any controller class name. Uh, Name it user controller simply. User controller. User controller. So we are making Spring Boot applications, so we have to annotate it at the rate REST controller, right? So at the rate REST controller. That's fine. So here you can give the name of your applications, just like simply I have to check my Spring Boot applications is working or not. So simply I write public. I have to only test. So I am writing welcome. Simply check welcome user. Welcome user. Okay. And we have to do git mapping. Why? Because only I am getting the informations. We are not going to do any resource related changes. So simply we are getting the message. So you can give the name. Simply you can welcome. That's all. And what you want to actually it's a return string type. So we have to return something. So what you are going to return? So anything you can return. Welcome. Welcome what? Welcome to Spring Boot. Welcome to Spring Boot applications. That's so we didn't do anything. But I want to tell you one thing here. In Spring Boot applications, here we do mostly what we do. We use component scan. But here we are not using component scan and it will not complain at the rate component scan. Component scan. But here what we have to give the package name. So here I am not giving the we don't require to give the package name. I tell you why. Yeah. If your user control class will be outside, actually it's a main class, and this main class is inside the package com.code to cloud x dot spring session. If your user control class it means due to some requirements, if you keep your controller outside this package, then you have to component scan. You have to tell the spring boot that where your control class is located. But now it's in the same package where main class is there, so we don't require. Simply you can comment it out. Now I have to start the server to we run the applications. It's loading, and when our server will be started, so I will get the message. Started. Spring Boot applications has started. Now I can check. So where I can go here, I can localhost 9091, right? And welcome. So now I got the welcome to Spring Boot applications message. I found out. Now I have to connect with SQLite. Now Spring Boot I have created. Now I have to connect with SQLite database, what I told you. Because if I have to perform any CRUD operations and I don't want to install heavyweight database just like MySQL and Oracle, what I told you earlier. So simply we will use SQLite. So for SQLite, we have a only we have to install that SQLite. So we have this link. You can use this link simply and download. Simply click on download. So if you will click on download, it will get download. Okay, and simply you can install it. Nothing else, and it's a very simple. Only 2 or 3 steps. If you will next, it will be installed, and it will look like. Simply you can search here SQLite. So I kept the downloaded file here, and if you will click on next, it will be installed. And if you will check in my C drive, tools and SQLite Studio. So here it's SQLite Studio. So if you will click on that, the database will be open. Yeah. So it's a GUI interface. So here you can create the database. You can, if you have existing files through Spring Boot applications, if you have created, then you can select that file. Or if you want to create a new one, so you can give test.db, or you can select where the file is located. test.db test connection. Okay, now we can check here. Yeah, that's fine. So you can select this one, and if you will okay, then that file will be created. So here you can create the table, create table. You can give the table name and all them. So you can create the tables, and if you want to check open SQL editor, so here or either through you can do also create table name and insert update whatever you want to do. You can do through here. So now we test through our Spring Boot applications. If you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe. In the next video, we will build full CRUD operations using Spring Boot and SQLite. Thank you.